Hello and welcome to today's session number 14 for College Success Skills. As always, I'm your inimitable host, Mr. Fowler, and I'm here to share a wonderful day of learning with you. So this week, we've got quite a bit going on, and I'm going to guess that you have quite a bit going on too. Because folks, like it or not, believe it or not, we're here almost at midterm. And in fact, this week for College Success Skills, we're going to tackle our midterm exam or midterm quiz, depending on your perspective. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you, which means you'll probably miss my wonderful face for just a few moments. But as I have said numerous times, I think it helps the process of the videos to run a little more smoothly if I minimize the camera time. So let me just go ahead and mute the camera for a moment. You should still hear my voice though. Hopefully you can still hear my voice as I share the screen with you. Okay, let's go ahead and start this dialogue. That's what I wanted. Okay, so today we're going to preview the midterm exam. So for session 14, the preview review that we always do at the beginning of any class will take about 5 minutes because frankly, once we get into the lecture of the preview, there won't be too much additional material to cover. So we're going to talk about your final drafts of your self-assessment essays. No discussion questions this week though, because I want you to focus on the actual material and the study prep for the midterm exams so that you do well. I'm going to give you a little bit of break. Then again, the main portion of today's session will be given over to a lecture. I'm going to take about 25 minutes today to help you preview this midterm. And then we'll close things off with some final thoughts as we typically do. And of course, we're going to have the midterm available this week starting today, but it's not due until October 9th on or before that day at some point around 11:59 or earlier. I mean, make it easy on yourself. Don't stay up till midnight to work on this essay exam. It's worth, this midterm exam. It's worth 24% of your grade, so do a good job. Okay, let's go ahead and review then. For your final drafts, you have all done a very nice job of moving your work from something resembling the image on the left-hand side of the screen to something more affecting the right-hand side. You looked at my comments, you looked at the commentary of fellow students, and you affected some critical changes. Now, I know a number of you during last week's session answered that you weren't too sure what to do about the peer review process or how to make that better. And I think that that's a legitimate question. I am struggling with how to perfect the peer review process in an online fashion. And I have to say, one of the most effective suggestions I've heard is that I would assign peer review partners for essays. I may have to do that in the future. It's just one of those things that's not very comfortable. I think as adults in college, you shouldn't have to have your instructor assign a partner for peer review. But if that's the only way we can get it done, that may be something I have to resort to in the future. So a little food for thought. Okay, moving on. This week may be relatively busy for you. Some of you may be facing multiple tests or exams. A few of you may even have a preview of your midterm this week. It's different for every instructor. Some instructors take the week before midterms to have a midterm exam or essay completed. And some people actually take week 8, where sessions 15 and 16 fall. So depending on what your schedule is for your other courses, this may be a busy week. So I have tried to give you a break from obligations to weekly discussion questions. And this way, I hope, emphasis on the keyword hope, that you'll be able to complete the midterm exam in English 111 and focus on it completely during this week. The midterm exam itself, if you want to call it an exam, it may end up being somewhat more akin to a quiz in your estimation. But it's going to focus on content from Chapter 16, objective tests, and Chapter 17, preparing for and taking essay and specialty exams. Now, this is a little bit different than a lot of your midterms because it's not cumulative. This isn't chapters 1 through, well, we're actually on chapter 16 and 17, the last couple of chapters of the book, but Mr. Fowler jumps around a little bit to kind of keep interest and focus on things that will be helpful and practical, like the fact that you now have test-taking skills and strategies under your belt before you have to take a major midterm exam. As such, my exam might feel more like a quiz. So it's going to focus just on those 2 chapters, very familiar territory, and very recently discussed material. Both of the PowerPoints for Chapter 16 and Chapter 17 are on the daily announcements and are posted on Desire Learn, so you can review them at your leisure. But where is it at on Desire to Learn? So first of all, you're going to come over here to our homepage, and you're going to click that quizzes link. Okay. When you click on the quizzes, you should see right here at the bottom under quiz 3, the midterm, and you can click on that and take it as frequently as you'd like. Again, you have a 2-hour window, and you can do anything and everything within your power to perfect your score. And I would recommend on this one that you go back, especially since you rarely will have this opportunity on a midterm or final exam, to correct any missed questions until you get a perfect score. Because that's, again, a weighty percentage, 24% of your overall grade on this one quiz. Maybe worth a little extra time and attention. Okay, so at this point, I think it's time to explore the midterm itself. I'm going to stop the share option. Thank you. And I'm going to now go ahead and move from here to our actual course. The homepage for English 111 and section 3001. I'm going to, of course, go, just as I said, to the quizzes link. And down here, I'm going to access the midterm. And I'm going to go ahead and look at it as a student. And the description's here for you. This is your midterm exam focusing on material from Chapter 16 and 17 of your text, College Success Strategies. Read each question carefully and select the best answers. The exam will be available all week, but is to be completed by the end of the day on Friday. Time to 1. Okay. I must not be able to access it because I'm the instructor. Well, in any event, let me go back so we can actually take a look at it. Because the idea is to review, after all. I didn't know I couldn't not look at it as a student. That's interesting. Okay, so we have a number of multiple select and true and false questions, which get us started. Again, we're going to select all of the questions which apply, or all of the right answers which apply. Okay. When it would appear as different types of recognition questions include, no, that's not what I want to look at. I actually just want to look at the quiz. Preview. There we go. All right. Okay. Different types of recognition questions include which of the following? Fill in the blank, matching, true or false, or multiple choice. Question 2. It's another true or false question. When organizing your thoughts for a review session, it's a good idea to make a jot list. One thing I wanted to go back and mention here is that notice that question 1 is 4 points. So you want to select all of the potential answers that occur to be, or seem to be correct. Okay. Question 3, which of the following is not a benefit to getting in class on time? This may deserve a reread in your chapter 16 text. Question 4, what are some of the benefits of taking a few moments to look over your exam once you have it in hand? Notice in this one, there are some tricky answers for number 4 here. So be careful. Could you impress your instructor with your diligence? Maybe, but does that text talk about that? Question 5, when responding to the questions that include a diagram, which sequence is recommended, again, by our text? Make sure that you have the text available and that you can quickly skim it over and that you have the answer memorized so that you can maximize your time for this particular midterm exam or midterm quiz. Question 6, again, this one's worth 4 points, so a little bit weightier. Essay exams may include which of the following? Traditional multi-paragraph responses, short answer questions that require a paragraph or 2 in response to a more narrowly focused question, identification terms to require you to define a term and explain its significance, or recall information from your memory. A lot to consider there. With question 7, we move directly into chapter 17, preparing for more essay-related or specialty exams. What does PORP stand for? Here, I'm just looking for a write-in response where you explain what the acronym itself stands for. Question 8, when organizing to prepare for an essay exam, you should do which of the following? Should you use an outline or other organizational tool? Should you begin preparing 3 to 4 days before the exam? Use notes and textual annotations to improve your test prep? Or should you do all of those things? Question 9 is another true and false question about rehearsal. Question 10 is another true or false question about open book exams, which kind of conclude Chapter 17. Chapter 11 is asking if you know you're going to have a take-home exam. You can relax and just read the pertinent material later, saving the new extra time for napping or partying throughout the semester. In case you were wondering, yes, this is a pretty easy give me question. I like to throw one of those in each time I create a quiz. And lastly, another question that's multiple select, which means you have to pick not just one correct answer, but all of the correct answers which could apply. So when you prepare for a mathematics or problem solving exam, that's one of the specialty exams referenced in the Chapter 17 title. You should prepare yourself by doing which of the following. Think about it and verbalize what you're doing. Designing a pretest for yourself with the same or similar types of questions that you may encounter in a quiz or test scenario. Getting help early in the semester if you fall behind or become confused, since questions do tend to build on previously discussed concepts. Or D, annotate annotate any formulas on your answer sheet or the test itself if permitted. So that's a brief preview of the quiz. Okay. Where are we at? Next week, when we meet, meaning next Monday, I would like you to have read Chapter 6 in College Success Strategies, subtitled Motivation. And you can find that material in your text on pages 57 to 71. That's a difficult topic, motivation, and one that not all students are going to approach in the same way. So I will go ahead and return to my video now. And this is Mr. Fowler sort of wishing you well. I hope that this little preview was helpful or insightful in some way, shape, or form. But if you should have a question, as always, do not hesitate to contact me. That's what I'm here for. I have had a little bit of trouble this morning with Zoom, but I was able to finally make it to the correct segment where I could record a video. I'm not sure what happened. That's frustrating because this happened last Monday as well, but I don't know that that mattered because many of you watched the video at different times. Anyway, the point is, this was, I know, late, so I appreciate your patience with me this week. I will return to you on Wednesday with some new information regarding next week's session, and I'll be hosting some Q&A time. So if you're available in the morning from 10 to 11, you can contact me and we can Zoom and just have a quick Q&A chat, and I'll post that as well. And if you're available after the evening session, I'll try to make myself available then too for some questions and concerns. All right. Thanks so much for your time and attention this week. I hope that you do your best and take your midterm seriously. And as always, practice critical thinking. Take care, everyone.